So the first Icon SBC of FC25 is almost here, and similar to the Hero one which came out last week Wednesday, this time we've got an Icon at a max cap of 87 rated. Now we're doing a tier list. Now this is the shortest tier list I've ever done. 24 cards are available from this pack, and in all fairness, the majority are definitely usable at this stage, but it's all going to depend on how EA priced the SBC, of course. I think this time last year we had the similar SBC. It might be exactly the same, actually. Max 87 rated, or it might have been max 86, and they did it cheap. I'm talking cheap. It was like an 84 and 85 rated team or something like that. So hopefully it's somewhat similar this time round. We'll see. And if you've already opened the Icon pack before you watch this, let me know in the comment section who you got. I wish you luck if you full send it, because there's some very nice cards in here right now. For cheap and fast EAFC 25 Ultimate Team coins, head over to MMOEXP.com. Link in the description, and make sure to use my code Morsey at checkout to save yourself 5% off your order. But also a lot of average players. And kicking things off, it's an average player. Juan Sebastian Veron. It's not John, is it? Not Big Boy John. Juan Sebastian Veron. Ex-Man United legend. Usable, for sure. Like, if you get this card, stick him in the midfield. It'll be alright for you. And Icon chemistry is important. He's an A-tier option, though. Out of these guys here, I can't see him much higher than that. Lack of speed, lack of serious meta, but definitely squeaky usable. Also in the A tier, joining him is gonna be Mr. Roy Keane. No nonsense, hard tackling, box to box centre mid. These two very similar on paper in all fairness. And as I said with Veron, Keane's usable, and for sure he could be really solid at this stage of the game. Just in regards to the clientele below, this man's an A tier option. Henrik Larsson. My man, I tell you what, he had this, I think this exact dynamic on his prime hero, probably about 2-3 years ago. I actually had him on my account. He was unbelievable. Nowadays, he's decent, but nothing crazy. He is actually going to take the rightful throne on A tier. Joining Veron and Keane. Hernandez then. I really like this card, especially the early game. This guy feels cracked in game. He feels quick. He's good at finishing. Great dribbling. Only the 3-star weak first, not ideal, but at least you got the 4-star skills. Playstyle plus is tidy. He's going to be the first S tier option. I think if you get this man, consider yourself lucky. Of course, depending on the price of the SBC, but he's about 270k on the market right now. Genuinely a really usable, fantastic striker at this stage of the game. The big boy, Sol Campbell. I played against him yesterday. I've been grinding rivals on 2 accounts trying to get all these wins. The RTG's done. Still got to do the main account. Played against Campbell. I didn't enjoy it. I won, but he was an absolute tank. A nightmare. And has to be an S tier option. Icon chemistry is crazy undervalued as well at this stage of the game. Especially with like untradeable teams. If you've got an RTG, packing a lot of different countries, a lot of different league players. Icon chem can come in clutch. So that's also positive to consider with these cards. But Campbell as an out and out centre back right now, the man is a tank. Really, really nice option. GG's if you get him. Gattuso in the building. Similar kind of story to these boys. I'm going to nestle him in right in between them, if it will let me. There we go. You've got a no-nonsense bruiser in the midfield. Not crazy on the ball. He's losing that technical feel. Similar to Keane and Veron, I guess. They're almost carbon copies of each other. But if you need that CDM, that hustler, who's going to get stuck in, win the ball back for you, Gattuso's that guy. Okay, we got some premiums coming up. Zambrotta up first. 86 rated fullback. The fullback. S+. The first S+ card for sure. Phenomenal right back. No nonsense. He's so versatile as well. And just solid. Really, really good. If you get him from this SBC, you've probably got a right back for the foreseeable. At least until you pack something crazy or an SBC comes out. Because this man's going to be usable for a very long time. Quality card. Jockey Playstyle Plus. Michael Essien. He's a beauty. An absolute beauty. And he's going to join Zambrotta in the S+ section. He's like 750, 800k, which is a fair bit of premium for the boy. But as an out-and-out CDM, Jockey Playstyle Plus, he's going to bully your opponents. If you play like a 4-1-4-1, this man as that holding midfielder, you're going to have a field day. And if you are bombing forward with him, shooting, the passing, it's not bad. Probably can score some screamers. I tell you what, this man's definitely got a Trivela in the locker. I will never forget that goal he scored against my boys Arsenal. But Crazy sick card, man. Hopefully I pack him, to be fair. Ashley Cole, Jockey Playstyle Plus on the man. Straight into the top of S tier, taking over Campbell and Hernandez. Jockey Playstyle Plus might be one of my favourite playstyles on a fullback because he's so solid defensively. He's quick. You can jockey and marshal your opponents if they're trying to be tricky on the wings. But you're not really losing out going forward. Like, as an out-and-out no-nonsense fullback, this man, he can fly forward, get goal contributions, but also you're really solid in the defence. Hernan Crespo. Yeah, alongside Larson. Like, looking at some of these icons, they are so similar. Like I said, Keane, Gattuso, Veron, very similar kind of profile. Similar with Larson and Crespo. Power header, chip shot, they're not meta playstyle pluses, but he's usable. A little bit clunky. I know Fuji rocked in a little bit if you watch his RTG or his streams, and he didn't really get on with him too much. I think he's going to score goals for you, but you're limited to the real creativity that he's going to provide to the team. He's basically a man to get on the end of it, being a poacher, finishing his dinner. That's what the man will deliver. Gianfranco Zola. Probably one of the most hyped cards in this SBC. Top of S+. This man, last year he was ridiculous at the start of the game. And I remember this version fitting Evo, one of the first Icon Evos. Oh, he's so good. Finesses, man. Finesse shots this year are ridiculous. I've got Alex Morgan in my main team. I can score from anywhere. Zola, very similar kind of story. And the playmaker, he's going to get you goal contributions. Vidic, similar kind of story to Ashley Cole. I think this year around, I mean, last year, undeniably an S+ option, but I think he's dropped off a little bit. The price tag as well has reflected that. He's like 400k. I think there's already so many crazy, really nice centre-backs that are a fair bit cheaper than the boy, which offer basically the same thing. But still, let's not get it twisted. This man is solid. Really fantastic centre-back. And he's going to do bits for you. Trust me if you get him. Stick him in that back line. He is a beast. Pires up next, my Arsenal boy. Oh, Robert. Top of A tier. Top of A. Looking at this in all fairness, if EA priced this well, we're talking maybe 150 to 200k. Roughly around there. That's probably what I'm predicting. It's very 50-50, but there are some fantastic cards at this stage of the game that you could be getting from this. Okay, Emmanuel Petit. What are we saying? The big man, he's going to sit top of S. Just ahead of Vidic by the tiniest bit. I think he's a bit of a bruiser, a bit of a tank this year, and he will hold it down in the midfield for you. You could play as a CDM, that holding, or maybe even a box-to-box marauding midfielder. Definitely versatility for him in the midfield. Claude, he's just that little bit ahead of Petit for me. That's why he's in the S+ category. He's got speed, fantastic defending, physicality. He feels quick and agile in the midfield as well, which is definitely important this year, especially with press and how much slower the game feels in compressed areas. Having a CDM who's decent enough on the ball, not crazy, but can definitely wiggle out of tricky situations. Solid playstyle plus, I think he's fantastic. And Rijkaard, intercept playstyle plus. He's a tank. He's an absolute tank. You know what? Petit, you lose. I'll put him here. Alongside Emmanuel Petit, I don't think there's much of a difference between the two, especially on paper. You look at the stats, very comparable. Rijkaard, though, actually, a little bit ahead of Petit. It's a close one between these two. You probably could sneak them into S+, but for me, they're going to be towards the top of S. Still fantastic options from the SBC. Davor Suker in the building. I'm going to put you a little bit behind Pires here. Pires, actually, I don't know if I touched on. My whole setup crashed. Like, from the internet dropped in, the power supply, so I lost everything. I had to remake it. But Pires in the A tier. Could sneak in the bottom of S+, but finesse shot definitely carries the card. Apart from that, he's lacking a little bit. Still a decent option. Suka, similar story. Fits into that kind of category with Larson and Crespo. I think I'm having him over these two just because of how good the finishing is. I think he will score goals for you. Kluivert, the first and one of the only B tier options. If you pack Kluivert and Ian Rush, I apologise, man. Like, they are by far the worst two options here. By all no means, though, they're still somewhat usable. You can definitely get a run out of these guys, but they're nowhere near meta enough, man, unfortunately. Rush, see, it will score you goals. That's about it. Kluivert, similar story. A little bit slow, a little bit clunky for Big Patrick there. Rush, I feel like, might get underrated a little bit, but for me, he's still behind all of these guys. John Barnes. Ooh, Johnny boy. I'm going to put John about here. Just behind Vidic. I think I prefer Vidic out of this pack. Fantastic control sprint. The dribbling's there for sure. Great out wide. Play him as a cam as well. Link up plays good. I think he's a solid option. And with controlled sprint being more used now since the speed boost nerf, oh, caught it early, moved the cam out of the way. I think the technical playstyle plus is a big addition to this card. That's why he's in the S tier. Xabi Alonso, long ball pass, is rumoured to be nerfed. It's coming, okay? The patch is coming, but as it stands right now, just ping the passes. Get the man in the midfield, deep line playmaker, ping those passes. He'll chip in with the defence as well. Really nice option. Frankie Lamps, just a little bit ahead. I'm putting him in S. Power shot is crazy. Also needs to be nerfed. You could basically first time power shot from anywhere. Green timer, it flies in the back of the net. This time round, as a box to box, even a playmaker, there's definitely potential for Lampard this year. By far one of the best years for him. Like previous years, he's been decent. Now he's leveled up a tiny bit. Ian, right. My boy, Ian. Oh, I love him. But unfortunately, he sits around here with Davor Suker. In that kind of like mid-tier category, which is probably what we're going to see most of, by the way. Looking at this tier list, there's a lot of serious heavy hitters, but a lot of mediocrity as well. Depending on how they price it. If it's over 200k and you get any in the A tier, you're basically struggling a little bit. I think Perez and Xabi Alonso might be a bit over 200k, maybe Suker. But Ian Wright, quick, versatile striker, really good in front of goal. Great finishing. Similar story to Davor Suker, but apart from that, you're lacking a little bit. But I love him. I wouldn't mind him myself if I get him, you know, big Ian Wright. And then Fernando Torres to round it off. You know what the crazy thing is, right? Finesse shot playstyle plus makes him crazy nice. I would probably personally rather Zola though. But just my personal preference. If I'm getting any of these two, I'm picking Zola over Torres, but he probably is the heavy hitter. The guy that you want to be getting. He's over 1 million. Crazy nice card. If you do pack him, you've hit the jackpot for sure. He's just brilliant, man. Great ruthless finisher. Play him as an advanced forward, target forward, poacher. Anywhere up front at this stage of the game, goals will come flooding. So that's it. Not a lot of cards. Hopefully I didn't dwindle and waffle on for too long here. But that is my tier list. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Let me know who you pack down below. Enjoy the rest of your night. Catch you later.